Hey, South Africa, get ready, because we're diving into a swamp of corruption that's got the stench of betrayal all over it. You're not going to believe the nerve of some of these so-called protectors of justice, and today, we're peeling back the layers on one man who's been dodging accountability like it's a game of hide-and-seek, Lieutenant General Shadrack Sibiya. This dude, sitting pretty as the Deputy National Commissioner for Crime Detection, has his fingerprints all over the mess that is the Senzo Meyiwa murder case, and don't even get me started on the broader rot festering in the South African Police Service SAPS. It's enough to make you angry, and if you're not fuming by the end of this, you might want to check your pulse. So, grab something hot and strong, settle in, and let's unpack how this man's actions scream corruption louder than a vuvuzela at a Bafana match. Are you ready to see just how deep this rabbit hole goes? Let's kick things off with the Senzo Meyiwa case, a tragedy that's been dragging on since 2014, when our beloved soccer star was gunned down in Vosloorus. It's a case that's broken hearts across Mzansi, and yet, here we are, over a decade later, with more questions than answers. Why? Because folks like Shadrack Sibiya have been playing fast and loose with justice, and the evidence is piling up like litter after a Josie Street bash. Back in 2019, Sibiya wasn't even supposed to be in the game. He was suspended from SAPS after being sacked in 2015 for his role in illegal renditions. Dodgy, right? Yet, somehow, this man was getting cozy briefings on the Meyiwa investigation. Constable Sizwe Zungu testified in September 2023 that he was summoned to a meeting in Klaarkop where Major General Vincent Lashabana filled Sibiya in on new leads, including links to suspects Musikawu Kulelwa Sibiya, no relation but the irony's thicker than pap, and Bongani Intanzi. Now, pause for a second. This guy's a civilian, kicked out for breaking the law, and he's being fed sensitive police intel like sweets at a kid's party. How does that even happen? Who's signing off on this nonsense? It gets worse. Zungu said Sibiya was asking all the right questions, probing who was leading the case and suggesting they loop in Warrant Officer Meshach Makubo from the Hawks. This wasn't just a casual chat over a braai. This was a suspended officer sticking his nose into a high-profile murder investigation, acting like he's still running the show. And here's the kicker. Sibiya had the gall to admit the info was spot on, like he's some crime-fighting oracle. Can you believe the cheek? A man with no business being anywhere near a police docket is pulling strings, and nobody bats an eyelid. It's the kind of thing that makes you wonder, who's really in charge here? The ANC government, with its track record of turning a blind eye to corruption, seems happy to let this slide, but we're not here to let them off the hook. Fast forward to May 2024, and Brigadier Bongani Ganinda, the lead investigator, drops another bombshell in the trial within a trial. He ties Musikawu Kulelwa Sibiya to Meyiwa's murder through a confession and witness testimony that the suspect was bragging about his role in a contract killing, with cell phone data allegedly linking Kelly Khumalo to financing the hit. Now, this is where Shadrack Sibiya's shadow looms large. Ganinda's testimony places him in the orbit of these developments, not as an official investigator but through murky, informal networks. It's like he's operating in some parallel universe where rules don't apply. And when Musikawu Kulelwa Sibiya claimed in February 2024 that he was tortured into signing a confession, strangled and assaulted by Ganinda and his team, you can't help but wonder how Shadrack's influence fits into this ugly picture. The guy's not directly named in the torture allegations, but he's hovering around the edges, close enough to raise serious questions about what he knew and when. Now, let's talk about the stench of interference. Posts on X from July 2025 are screaming what many South Africans have suspected for years. Shadrack Sibiya's got a reputation as the go-to guy for syndicates and mafias. One user, Tim Stwinky, pointed out his deep involvement at the Meyiwa crime scene, while Shokwake 16 straight up called him a criminal behind a cover-up. Another, Snetom questioned why Sibia was even near the scene and what he planned to do with those political killings dockets. Use them as office decor? These aren't just random rants. They reflect a public that's fed up with a police service that's more about protecting the connected than serving justice. And when you dig into the KwaZulu-Natal political killings task team saga, it's clear why people are livid. On July 6, 2025, KZN Police Commissioner Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi blew the lid off a scandal that should have every South African up in arms. He accused Sibia, acting on orders from Police Minister Senzo Meyiwa, of yanking 121 case dockets from the task team on March 26, 2025, without the approval of the national or provincial commissioner. These weren't just any cases, 612 dockets, including murders, attempted murders and conspiracies, with 436 arrests and 156 firearms seized. The task team was a rare success story, nailing 128 convictions with sentences totaling 1,811 years. And yet, Sibia and Meyiwa decided to pull the plug, leaving those dockets gathering dust in Pretoria. Why? Mkhwanazi's got receipts, WhatsApp messages from Vusimuzi Kat Matlala's phone, a dodgy businessman arrested for attempted murder, showing cozy chats with Machunu's mate Brown Mogotsi and the minister himself. One message from January 1, 2025, brags about the task team's disbandment and dockets being sent to Sibia. Coincidence? I think not. This isn't just about one case, it's a pattern. Mkhwanazi's briefing revealed a syndicate involving politicians, cops, prosecutors, and even judges, all tied to a Gauteng drug cartel. Sibia's role? He's the one allegedly stalling investigations to shield the powerful. On December 6, 2024, when the task team arrested Katiso Molefe for a murder linked to this syndicate, a senior SAPS manager, guess who's in that orbit, tried to derail the operation. Mkhwanazi also flagged Sibia's involvement in leaking classified crime intelligence documents like vetting details to a member of parliament. This is the kind of betrayal that makes you want to scream into the void. How can we trust a police service when its top brass are allegedly playing for the other team? The ANC's been running this show for decades, and what do we get? A justice system that's more rotten than a forgotten biltong stash. And don't let Sibia's denials fool you. In a July 2025 SABC interview, he called Mkhwanazi's allegations absolutely not true, claiming his 37-year career is squeaky clean. Oh, please! This is the same guy who in 2018 whined about not seeing the Meyiwa docket, while simultaneously being briefed on it during his suspension. He's got more faces than a Joburg taxi rank hustler. He even had the nerve to slag off Mkhwanazi, saying he should stop behaving like a warlord and accusing him of being upset over the arrest of Crime Intelligence Chief Dumisani Khumalo. But here's the thing, Mkhwanazi's got evidence, WhatsApp messages, ballistic reports, financial transactions, while Sibia's just throwing shade. Who do you believe? The guy with receipts or the one dodging questions like a politician at a presser? The Meyiwa case alone is a masterclass in how to botch justice. With 40,000 pages of case documentation, it's a sprawling mess, and Sibia's fingerprints are all over the chaos. Defense lawyers have been hammering the point that his presence at investigative meetings during his suspension taints the evidence's integrity. And when his new attorney in April 2024 asked for a postponement to wade through the mountain of records, including cell phone data, you can't help but wonder, what's being hidden? The public's not stupid. We see through the smoke and mirrors. Posts on X, like Shazia Mids, call Sibia out for everything from the Meyiwa cover-up to sabotaging SAPS probes in 2025. The sentiment's clear. This man's a liability, and the ANC's letting him skate. What's the cost of this corruption? It's not just about Senzo Meyiwa's family. still waiting for justice. It's about every South African who's lost faith in a police service that's supposed to protect us. The EFF's not wrong when they call SAPS the chief crime syndicate in Mzansi. With over 70 murders a day and dockets disappearing faster than load-shedding power, how can we feel safe? Mkhwanazi's fighting the good fight, risking his career to expose this rot. But he's up against a system that's been hollowed out by ANC mismanagement. The fact that Sibi is not only back in SAPS but promoted to Deputy National Commissioner is a slap in the face to every honest cop and citizen. It's time we demand answers. Why is this man still calling shots? Who's protecting him? And what's it going to take to clean up this mess? So, here's what I'm asking you, South Africa. Are you as fed up as I am? Are you tired of seeing justice twisted by those meant to uphold it? This isn't just about Shadrach Sibiya, it's about a government that's let corruption fester like an open wound. Share this story because silence is what lets these crooks thrive. Comment below with your thoughts. Have you seen this kind of nonsense in your community? Let's keep the pressure on. And if you're as angry as I am, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and share it with every mate who cares about Mzansi's future. It costs you nothing to stand up for what's right, so do it now. But we're not done yet. There's more to this fight. Join our channel membership to support this kind of hard-hitting expose. Every bit helps us keep digging. If you can, drop a super thanks donation to fuel the cause. And hey, let those ads play for at least 30 seconds. It's a small way to back us without opening your wallet. Together, we can shine a light on this corruption and demand the justice Senzo Meyiwa and every South African deserves. Don't let the ANC's failures define us. Let's take back our country, one truth at a time. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. Do it now because Mzansi's watching.